Hi everyone, it's Peter Zellum's Griniflix Adventure 8, and guess what? I'm back from another Central Australia trip. I was actually touring with my brother, four-wheel drive adventure, going from Sydney to Alice Springs in Central Australia. A wonderful, exciting trip as always, and there will be some materials, some videos that will be coming out in the future. The challenge for this trip was to photograph as much of the journey as possible using one camera, one lens, manual, as I would have done many years ago in some of my travels around the world using film cameras. So the camera I'm using is a Leica M240 and it's probably about 10 years old or so. I did buy it second-hand, and the lens also is a second-hand lens. It's a 35mm f2 Summicron lens, a vintage lens manufactured back in the 1970s. So a lot of the time I'm actually using aperture priority. So I'm setting the aperture, usually f2, f2.8, thereabouts, depending on how much light there is. And then it's selecting the shutter speed automatically. And other times I'm just using fully manual. So always using ISO 200. So pretty basic as far as the equipment is concerned. I love using this old manual style camera, rangefinder camera. And it feels very much like the old film cameras that I used to use with a fixed focal length lens. And one of my favorite films at the time I was using was this one here, Kodakchrome 200 ISO. And recently I got some photos back from a photo library that I'd submitted photos way back in 1990 and thereabouts. The library closed down, it was repurchased or organized, someone took over. But what they did, they were kind enough to actually send back some of the original Kodakchrome slides. Yeah, so these slides, I'm not entirely sure whether you can actually see, but these are incredible. The clarity behind these, the colours of these slides after 30 years, as if they were just taken. Incredible, the quality of Kodakchrome. It's a crying shame that you can't get it processed anymore. This last roll that I used was in 2004. Well, actually it was manufactured in 2004, so I suspect I took some slide photographs with it probably a few years after that. And I still have the original packaging here to send out to Kodak to get processed. Unfortunately, if I send it, it would never be processed and it would be lost for life. So one day maybe there will be someone that can actually process Kodakchrome film so I can see what's on this last roll. The challenge was to try and shoot as if I was shooting Kodakchrome film. So use 200 ISO, use manual focus, and use 35mm lens. And the camera that I had was a compact, weatherproof type Nikon compact camera, which was 35mm also, so I was always fixed to that 35mm focal length. So that's what I've done with this journey, and I've completed the trip. I've taken over 1,000 photographs with this camera, recording the 2-week trip. I'll show a few of those photographs now, but I'm yet to actually go and do a proper edit. What I'll do is in most cases, I'll just use the JPEG file that was produced out of the camera. I was shooting both RAW and JPEG, so if I completely stuffed up on some JPEG that is an outstanding photograph and I need to adjust somehow the colors or the shadows or the highlights or whatever I need to adjust, then I've obviously got the option to do that more so with the RAW file using Lightroom. Anyway, so this is just to let you know I'm back, and there will be another journey going further west through Australia, from Central Australia to the west coast of Australia. and I'm opening up the tour to other people if they wish to join me, either in my car or if they want to tag along in their own car. It'll have to be a four-wheel drive if they want to tag along. If that's of interest to you, do contact me. There will be details in the description below, and or you can always contact me via making comments to this video on YouTube, and or you can go to my website adventure8.com.au and just make contact that way. I'd welcome you to participate in the journey. Obviously there's fees and costs involved, and we can discuss that depending on how you'd like to join the journey and for what duration, etc. Let's have a look at some of these photos, and as a quick intro, and there will be a video and these photos in the form of a more detailed video about the journeys coming out soon as well. So if it's the first time to my channel, please do subscribe. Really appreciate your support, and do like, press notifications so that when the video does come out of this journey, then obviously you will be notified. There will be more videos because I've done a couple of journeys now over the last 6 weeks into Central Australia, so there'll be separate videos on each of those. Anyway, we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Cheers.